Guess what time it is? It's new video clock day. New video clock. Let's do it. The story starts with this beautiful 1.2 meter burl cookie I got from a local sawmill. This brings us to this little guy, which came off the top of the entire burl. First job was to clean it, remove any loose bits, and then onto the mold for resin. How big to make this clock? It seems like a simple question, but my planer is only 30 centimeters wide. What if this clock does not come out of the mold cleanly? What if I ended up destroying it? I used 3 different types of epoxy for this build. The first one being just regular epoxy to seal the pores of the wood before the big pour. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the main event. This was pretty satisfying, to be honest, although I am risking about $80 worth of epoxy. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. When doing something like this, it's always in the back of your mind, do not stuff this up. This is a very expensive mistake I want to avoid. Look at that. So satisfying. Of course, using the blowtorch to get rid of the bubbles. This is the deep pour stuff, which handled this nicely. To solve the problem of what to do with any leftover epoxy, I actually bought these silicone coaster molds, which came out great for using the many offcuts from the burl. Looks good, right? Yeah? It looks good. Thankfully, the clock came out of the mold with very few issues. This is when I sent the clock over to my mate Luke from Resonate Wood Co. To carve in the numbers with his CNC. Luke was a huge help to me in this build. Please go over and support him on Instagram, and he's just started a new YouTube channel, which I'll link below. It was actually watching the majesty of his CNC that inspired me to get my own. This is a 1.5 by 1.5 meter blue carve CNC, and it is an absolute beast with this 2.2 kilowatt spindle. Now that the air bubbles have been filled, it was right on to sanding and polishing. I took this from 120 grit right up to 4,000 grit on the sander before moving to polishing. The goal was to achieve a mirror-like finish on the clock. I realize that most people just use a flood coat and call it done, and that's just as good in my opinion. All right, this is the final product. You can see there's a nice shine to it, very reflective. I'm loving it, loving the colors, loving the gold. Fun fact, I accidentally was looking at the already broken wall clock when setting this one. Idiot. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next video.